It's Friday! We made it to Friday! Woo! It's the weekend, which means we get to do the same thing we do throughout the week, except with less work.
Not necessarily.
Just stay home. What? You're going to do the same amount of work.
Yeah,
It is
much.
a free-for-all Friday. I'm going to throw the chat or the meeting up in the chat there. So if you want to join in, feel free to do that. We will cut over to that in just a little bit as we get a few more people, perhaps. That seems like the thing to do. So welcome. We already have our first people. Christina came in first. Nice. We haven't seen Christina first in a while. Just beat out Heather by 1 second. One second. Oh, my goodness. Such a tight. Let's see. Robert says first-ish.
Not even royally.
Melissa just says hello, already knowing that the race was over. We welcome both of you to the program. We are doing a free-for-all Friday, so I'm going to go into our show here on Facebook and pin the meeting there. Well, we'll post it a few times probably, but well, be quiet. No, you don't need to talk. Why are you talking? Don't talk. And
sorry.
No, you're allowed to talk. This is not them. So we've pinned.
I just won't talk.
We've pinned it to the bottom there. So if you want to join on in, we've got Karen. Hopefully a drunken Friday Karen. That'd be good. Drunk Friday Karen's always a blast.
Poor Karen. She gets drunk once on her show, and now it's like a trope.
She's the one that says there's drunk Karen. We didn't make it up. She's the one that did it.
As long as drunk Karen and darts Karen don't meet.
I like drunk Karen. I'm fond of drunk Karen. Yeah, Dart Karen, we've had moments that we're still working out. It's going to be okay though. I feel like we've talked it through. Emily says, I'm here. I have happy hour I'm supposed to be, but again, no one is there. Well, this is always a happy hour and we're always here. So
last time your happy hour was in person. Is it not in person this time?
That's a good question.
Hi, Ian.
Hello, Ian. We're seeing people join the meeting, so I'm gonna.
Yes,
let's see.
I applied makeup to my face today.
Yeah, I'm gonna let's see, hide self view. That way, other people can be in the view. And I'm gonna go over to our Zoom while people are jumping in. We've got Ian is here already, and Karen has joined us, otherwise known as Babusina. Yeah, look at it. She's zhuzhing all up. She cleans up well, doesn't she? I'm not so lucky. I still look homeless. That's kind of my thing.
He showered
for
you people.
Yeah, I showered.
Maybe also for the woman who lives with him.
It was that time of the week, so I figured I wasn't gonna put it off any longer. Ian, how did your week go? It's going.
Diana would like you to repost the Zoom link.
I can do that. I heard that you might be going out and causing trouble this weekend despite government orders. No, I don't think so. I heard that you were bucking the government and causing trouble. That's all I heard on Facebook. No, all right. Oh, gotcha. Okay. We've got Emily here
Septic
as well.
says we can't hear Ian.
We can't hear Ian. Okay. Let's see.
We can hear you great.
I think I've got it.
Wait, how many hands do I have up?
There we go.
5.
Yeah, there's definitely 5 hands. Septic, I believe I've fixed it now. There was a desktop audio thing not occurring on this particular slide. That was my fault.
Say something charming, Ian.
You know I'm going to say something charming, Ian.
Well, then, Emily, you say something charming.
I got nothing, y'all.
That's
Smile,
honest.
say something charming about Ian.
You stumped her.
She's like, I'll stay on mute.
Perfect.
Thank you very
She's gonna
much.
keep muted now. That's not a way to encourage people to participate.
I didn't mute anyone. You showed up
She
muted.
muted herself when you said that. It's like a logical
I
mute.
love Ian, but he can't hear anything.
He can't hear anything? He can hear things. All right. Craig, do you have anything nice to say about Emily?
I like your headband.
Thank you. This is me being super lazy after running this morning and not showering.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that. That's conservation of
Super
energy.
Lazy would be me who did not run this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are at the right level of lazy.
Yeah.
It's an extension of Emily's laziness.
I did work. I did run. I did eat. I just did not shower or change out of my workout clothes.
That's fair.
Shit happens.
Yeah. That seems like just the right amount of effort in my book. So it's interesting. So I was up on Facebook. I have apparently won Facebook this week and then lost Facebook right after that.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. I made a comment on the NASCAR page, and that now has like 13,000 reactions to it, which is the most of all of the NASCAR comments, which I didn't expect that to happen. And then it seems that like Reddit stole the joke that I made and then put it on Reddit. And then The Daily Show last night also did the same joke. So I'm available for comedy writing if anybody
So tell
needs
them the
it.
joke, because Ian didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. Ian, no, I'm not going to do that. Ian, right now you should go to the NASCAR Facebook page. They
tell
made
you
an
my
announce,
NASCAR joke if you tell me your NASCAR joke.
but then go to that page and look at the announcement where they
Wanna
said
hear
that.
my NASCAR joke.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me your NASCAR joke.
So I'm not surprised by NASCAR spanning the Confederate flag because they have a long history of turning left.
Nice.
So there's if you go to the NASCAR page, they made an announcement that they're banning the Confederate flag, and just the comments on that post, you have a weekend's worth of content to read through. It is amazing. Never have I seen more people who probably own guns being so upset about a sport that has nothing to do with flags no longer having a flag.
My very favorite comment.
The checkered one.
Yeah, they do have the checkered one. That's
My
right.
very favorite comment was the guy who said, "You've taken away everything I love about the sport." I want to be like, why doesn't everything you love about the sport have to do with like cars
or racing
of any kind?
Or the
Ah.
cars.
Right.
Right.
So I was on Facebook, and then I had a friend of mine write an interesting thing, and they asked me if I would bring it up during the show today. So this is something we can kind of talk about. She is single. She is kind of extroverted, right? And she was asking her friends of those people who have been quarantining and been pretty good about doing that. What types of things have you done to be able to replace things like the hugs that you look forward to and the things that you usually used to do and now you're not doing because of that quarantine? How do you, it's easier, like, I'm very lucky. I have a very beautiful woman who happens to live with me. So
Hello.
I get plenty of attention and interaction. But for the folks that don't, how are you coping with it? What things have you found to make that happen? And we thought it was an interesting topic to talk about because it is, Ian just says alcohol. It's just drinking more. All right.
All right.
Um,
I got a haircut today.
all
And
right.
it was the most physical
Big day.
contact I've had in 3 months, and I think I'm in love. Also,
Melissa-
I have ears again.
Yeah, you do. Look at
Melissa's
that.
complaining that she can't see us. So explain why she can't see us.
Well, we're showing the people who are on the meeting right now.
And septic, Emily went 3.03 miles.
There.
I know that from Facebook.
So we'll chat about that a little bit between the questions and stuff like that, and see what people have thought of, and if we have to go into a second wave, which there's some rumor of that happening, what would we do differently? How would we approach that? So we'll think about that. I'm gonna move over to. We've got 10 people, which may or may not actually be 10 people. We'll see.
Whatever.
What do I have to do? Oh, before I do that, remember, you can share the show on Facebook. I'm going to do that first. So we'll go back to the main page here, and I will show you how that's done. Make sure you're sharing publicly. You share now public, and you'll see there's a little thing right there that tells you if you're going to get a point or not. You can do it to public groups. You can do it to other people's pages. You can do it to your own page. Every unique share gets you a point. But if you want to share it with somebody privately, you don't want to do it on a public level, you can @sign them in the chat and Facebook and do that. On the Twitch side, if you're going to host the show, which we would appreciate, just let us know that you're doing it. We'll get you a point as well for doing that. On YouTube, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do that's like YouTube.
You could subscribe, but that's a one-time thing.
Yeah, Craig just did it. I saw that. Thank you, Craig, for the share. And all right, and then of course the other way to get points is to answer questions correctly, as you would expect. First person to get the answer correct gets 2 points. Everybody else gets 1 point. And you can throw a Karen by saying Karen into the chat. If nobody else gets the answer correct, you get 1 point. But if anybody else gets it correct, you lose a point. So it's a bit of a gamble. And with that, I think that is everything. We will move on to question number 1.
Question number 1. In the book and movie The Perfect Storm, from what state does the Andrea Gale sail?
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. We'll get that up for people to take a look at. People are answering already because I know some people are going to wonder, Wade, how is it possible that people are already answering? Remember that if you're in the show, if you're a part of the show in the Zoom meeting, you're going to get instantaneous questions. You won't see them, but you'll hear them as they're being asked. So if you want to participate in that, once again, here's the actual link, and you can be a part of that if you would like. Karen has turned off her camera, does not want to be seen, just wants to be able to get the quick answers in. I like this. This is sneaky.
She's focusing.
Yes. So I'm going to go over to the Zoom. How do the people on the Zoom feel about this?
I'm focusing too.
You're focusing as well? You've got more alcohol. That's good. Craig, did you have any coping mechanisms during that 3-month period? Like, was it doing a lot of Zoom meetings? What were the things that you did?
Mostly Zoom meetings and, crying in the shower, the usual things.
The good thing about crying in the shower is there's no evidence.
Get on the rug.
Right? Nobody knows you're crying in the shower because you're like, I'm just wet because I'm in the shower. I'm not
kind of a salt scrub.
Yeah, it does help.
Isolated salt scrub.
It helps the skin just in the very specific areas. All right, let's go to the chat and see what people came up with. All right, so it looks like we've got Karen came in first with Maine. Shaggy was first with Alaska. I don't think that's right. I feel like this movie took place on the East Coast.
Gotta pay attention to accents, people.
Yeah, I feel like that's correct. So Maine, I think, is a good guess because that's definitely East Coast. I think it happened. I think the Perfect Storm stuff happened because of a nor'easter. So that makes me feel like it's that northeast.
Yeah.
Right? So Maine, a good guess. Alaska doesn't feel right. Karen's Kraken Adventures. Spelled it wrong, which is surprising because he's had a lot of experience writing the word Karen, but Septic throwing an oddly spelled Karen there.
Let's blame autocorrect.
Sure. Yeah, no problem at all. Septic likes Ian's TARDIS. We'll get to that in a second.
It's kind of the best.
It's pretty classic.
They'll still hear you talking. They just won't see you when we're over here. But all right, so we have Melissa's the first one with MA. What does MA stand for?
Massachusetts.
It is Massachusetts. So that's not Maine.
That's where I was born.
All right. Craig went with Maine.
would be Maine.
Danny went with Massachusetts. Diana went with Maine. Karen's dealing with kids' dinner. Will be on soon. All right. Robert went with the Massachusetts answer. We've really split here. We've got Maine and Massachusetts, I think, is the two big
And
answers.
Alaska.
Well, Alaska, I think, is just one person, just to see if anybody else would follow him. And it didn't work out this time.
States with water.
Yeah,
At
nobody,
least you did.
Nobody went. Yeah, no Arizonas. That was good. I'm glad to see that.
Nobody was like, Texas!
Yeah, Texas has water.
Has
There's
the
a
Rio
whole
Grande.
coast.
Yeah, but it's not... Okay.
It's a coast of the Gulf. That's
not the kind of place where you get a nor'easter.
no, but there's hurricanes.
All
It's
right,
still a
fine.
storm. All right.
Also, accents. George Clooney had a very specific accent in this movie and was not from Texas.
I forgot to times up things, but time is up. We've got all of our answers in. What is the correct answer?
Massachusetts.
It is Massachusetts. Melissa, 2 points for you. Danny gets a point as well. And Robert. So that is the beginning of the show.
Septic gets -1 point.
-1 point for Septic, as you might expect. Again, save you a bunch of time. If you just put -10, then you have to only do it if people miss it.
All right.
Saves you a bunch of time. All right, let's go to question number 2.
What country experienced the Velvet Revolution?
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Oh, Diane Lane was the worst.
Diane Lane's accent was really bad.
That's good.
Real bad.
Thanks. BBC put up a bunch of backgrounds. Oh, that's good to know. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so get your answers in the chat if you know the answer to this question. We're gonna jump over to the Zoom folks again. So aside from drinking, Ian, and then changing your background, did you have any other things that you did to kind of keep yourself sane during isolation? Did you go outside often? What else did you do?
I talked to people that are curing COVID.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, crazy people.
Crazy people curing COVID by what? Removing like 5G towers, or
No, I'm the COVID greeter at the FDA now.
the COVID greeter? Oh,
Like at
wonderful.
Walmart. I knew I'd get Craig to put up his TARDIS.
Oh, there you go. We got 2 TARDISes now.
We got 2 TARDISes. Everybody has to do a TARDIS. I've been answering the phones for the FDA.
Oh, I see. So if people have an idea of how they're going to cure COVID, they reach out to you and let you know about it.
Well, mainly it's for people that want to get masks and ventilators and things like that. But about once a week, I get a crazy person that tells me they've cured COVID.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, I'm glad
That's
that
fun.
there's
I'm
so
glad
many
you get that
cures.
break.
Yeah, a lot.
What's the solution?
Yeah, what's the best fix you've
So far,
heard?
the best solution is somebody that puts strips on your body. She said they were not medical strips, but she said that she's cured 100 people in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. But
She's well traveled.
how are they not?
Hong Kong.
How are they not medical strips if they're doing medical things?
See, now I wondered that exact same thing, but then I realized if I asked her, she would stay on the phone for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right,
Not
let's
good.
go to the chat and see what people said as an answer to number 2 here. All right, let's see what we've got. Let's see. Venus in furs.
Oh, I thought it said Velvet Underground. Sorry.
Style point for Ian.
Yes, there you Czechoslovakia. Karen Otobia. Says Septic. England, Czechoslovakia.
Karenobia.
Chocolate a lot, which is similar to Czechoslovakia but tastier. Turkey, which is similar to chocolate but not as tasty. And
Turkey's delicious.
it's not as
You're a
delicious
judgmental dick.
as chocolate. Are you sitting? Come on. You're going to take turkey over chocolate. You are a liar. You are a lying liar.
I like the skin on turkey.
If it's in chocolate. Let's see. The UK likes that. Let's see. It is Kimberly M. Flowers. You know you want to. Kimberly, come join us. Lori, where are you? We need this. Is it TARDISes or TARDI? That's a good question.
Ooh, Tardises.
Tartasians. All right.
The
Let's
internet TARDISes.
TARDISes. Okay.
Tortoises.
So those are all the answers.
Sounds like someone saying tortoises with an accent.
Mm,
Tortoises.
Background
Yeah.
smiles.
Oh, we got another TARDI.
Thank you. I went to BBC and got it.
As we're sitting here.
That's a good
That's
one.
what I've been doing this whole time.
No pressure, Danny. No pressure.
Yeah, no
at all.
pressure. If you
No,
want to be a cool kid.
Laptop cannot do that.
What?
This is a laptop generously donated by somebody after my other laptop died. So it's a very cheap laptop that can't do that.
Are you sure?
I've tried.
All right. I feel like you should be able to do it, but I don't know.
No, I've been on Zoom enough to know that if I was in another room with like the blue background, that would be great. But I'm taking time out.
All right. Well, what was the correct answer?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
That's not how you say that.
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, hey, babe, our flowers were delivered.
Oh, good. Yay. We sent
Should
flowers.
I check my mailbox?
Yes, definitely check your mailbox and do not test it for COVID. There's no need to. It's perfectly safe.
Just put the strips on.
Yeah, put the strips on. It'll solve it. All right, so Czechoslovakia means Danny got in first with 2 points. Karen gets a point, and Melissa gets a point that round. So let's move on to question number 3.
I don't feel like it.
Okay. Question number 3 is, I don't feel like it.
In Big Sur,
Oh.
California, there is a restaurant called Nepenthe. It is named after a magic drink that is supposed to do what?
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. What is that drink supposed to do? Is maybe there's a hint in the name of the drink, or maybe there's not?
I'm not telling.
You're not sure. Okay, all right.
No,
That's
I
fine.
am sure. I'm just not telling.
You don't know the right answer. I understand that. That's fine.
You are a jerkbag.
Yeah, no. It's all right. I'm not going to call you out for it.
You just did.
I don't think I did. I think I just said that
did.
it's fine. I said that it's okay. All right. Melissa's laptop won't allow backgrounds either. Let's go over to Zoom again. So, Smiles, how do you think, have you had this drink before? Do you feel like this is something maybe in your liquor cabinet?
I have I don't know anything, the answer to this, but I'm thinking if Penth is the end, it might have something to do with absinthe.
Oh, that's an interesting
Oh.
take.
Guessing Call the
I'm
Green
thinking too.
Goddess.
Yeah. All right. There you go. I like it. This is good. Sometimes you have to break down words to try and get the answers. All right. Let's go to the
It's a full meal in a drink.
let's go to the chat and see what people got because time is up. These are good guesses. A lot all over the place. Definitely all over the place. This was a harder one. It's Friday. Things are starting to get more
It is
difficult.
Friday.
So let's see. Robert says you might want to call tech support for Zoom. Oh, all right. It's an elixir to make you into the beautiful goddess Karen, says Septic. Well, Karen, I believe you might have a fan over there in the UK if you ever make a visit over there. We have, let's see. It is a full meal and a drink, says Robert. Trey has arrived. Trey is here. Karen says that it makes you happy, which I believe Septic has done for Karen. Let's see. It's too old. It won't allow. Yeah. That's tech stuff. We don't care. Diana says, call the Green Goddess. And Ian says, get you drunk. Yeah, that's a good guess. That's a... Craig says cure blindness, so we know which type of alcohol that is because the other one causes blindness, so it's definitely not that. Confusion causes confusion. Danny says change color, and let's see. Jenny says dessert. It causes dessert. And forget your sorrows, Melissa says, which is true of many drinks. That's definitely the case. Let's see. If I make a visit, I hope I have more than one fan. Oh, Septic, get on that. We need a Karen fan club over in the UK. Make that happen. All right. So lots of different answers here. I don't think we even have a favorite, honestly. So did anyone get it correct?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, that's excellent. What is the correct answer?
The correct answer is it banishes pain and sorrow. I am accepting, makes you happy, and forget your sorrows.
That seems fair. Those are...
Literally just defined every alcoholic drink ever.
I mean, it was a pretty easy guess.
Get you drunk.
Well, get drunk actually doesn't make you forget all your sorrows necessarily.
Or your
because,
pain.
Yeah,
If you're not drunk enough.
that's right. Sometimes it makes it worse because there's a famous comedian whose name I've forgotten now, but he said he would sometimes get blackout drunk, and he said there were times that he would drink so much he couldn't remember anything, and then he would wake up at home, wonder what happened to all his time and what happened to all his money, right? And that was really upsetting. But what was even more upsetting than that was one evening when he woke up after being blacked out and had more money.
That's John Mulaney.
Because at that point, that meant while he was drunk, at some point he had to have traded goods or services for money. and was not aware of what it was that he had done. So yeah, so I don't
You
think
were just encouraging me to drink more, aren't you?
that's true because you could make money off of it.
Yes.
All right, so there we go. I guess since isn't that what's all booze is supposed to do? You would hope. Although I do have some friends that say that is absolutely not what tequila does. So let's move on to
Bring you full circle.
yeah, right. Let's move on to question number 4.
Question number 4. What engineer is commonly associated with building the first steamboat? His name is not Steamboat Willie.
What? I thought that was it.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought I had the answer. Oh, there we go. All right. 60 seconds on the clock. Craig has a good guess. Did you see what that is?
Noah.
Yeah,
The Ark was not a steamboat.
it was.
Danny, back me up here.
It was pretty balmy.
They had to cook those animals somehow.
Right.
The Ark was not a steamboat.
Thank
I mean-
you.
Have you ever been to a steam room?
There was not a steam room.
It kind of was. If you think of an enclosed boat with 2 of every animal on the planet, that was probably pretty balmy. I'm just saying.
You know,
The humidity.
There's nothing that the Bible doesn't say, like Jesus farted, okay? It
Yeah.
happened. It doesn't mean that the Bible is going to say it.
Right. I'm just saying it was kind of a steamboat.
Oh, there wasn't in Leviticus like 7-2 when Jesus farted.
No, that's
You just made that up.
that's the Old Testament.
You
Jesus
know you
is
just
in the
made that
Old.
up.
He never farted in the Old
That's
Testament.
how hard he farted. He farted all the way back to the Old Testament.
Yeah. Back in the Old Testament, he did not have an asshole. That's a fact. It's
Oh.
it's in Genesis.
Random segue.
Yet again, that is not in Genesis.
It's pretty sure it's in Genesis. And upon him there were no
Seen
assholes.
The documentary put together by Irving Finkel on the construction of the Ark.
Oh, the new Ark, the one that's like in Kentucky, is that the one you're talking about, or is this the actual Ark that he?
No, they took all the biblical references they could find,
Okay.
as well as historical, like, fact,
Yeah.
and built the Ark as best they could. And the documentary's freaking awesome.
Oh, all right.
So the movie Evan Almighty, which is a sequel to Bruce Almighty,
Yeah.
was filmed near my house in Crozet, Virginia. And the scenes where they had an ark that like he was building, that actually was there. I could see it all the way from my house, which was not actually that close to where they were filming. They only built about a quarter to a third of it, and the rest of it was CGI. But a quarter to the third of that arc was actually there, and I walked up to it one night. It was very big.
Phil Collins.
I'm also in that movie.
Would disagree with you, Key Center. That okay?
Is that a tangent you're throwing to her story,
Me?
Phil Collins?
No, that's Robert said that he would disagree with me.
But I just want to point out that would be an arc tangent.
Oh, I see what you've
Nicely
done.
done.
There. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity, but I believe there is a theme park in like Kentucky where you can go and visit the Ark. It's like Ark World or something, and you go into
They're
the
going
Ark.
bankrupt. Somebody sent their drone over it, and they could see acres of empty parking spaces.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, we need to help
It
them.
was also damaged by rain.
Well,
No way.
it wasn't really designed for rain. That's crazy. Come on. Nobody saw that coming. So let's go.
Applied to FEMA for it.
Who's Phil Collin?
I don't know. I'm thinking Phil Collins, but I'm not sure. Let's go to the chat and see what people came up with for their answers. So we have Noah. We have Thomas Jefferson. Diana goes with a Karen. Oh. Bodie McSteamboat Face says Ian, the very popular English boat. It actually ended up just being one of the what was it? It's like one of their autonomous units, I think. They didn't name the whole boat that because they refused to. Bob the Builder, Robert Fulton. Oh, there we go. We might have an actual answer in here. Robert Fulton. Jenny says Karen. Kettle Karens.
It's like kettle corn,
John Fitch. That seems like
but
a
prettier.
very like a person's name that might have built a boat. Same guy who created the Museum of the Bible in DC. Or is it the same guy? I don't know. I don't know if it's the same guy. But time is definitely up.
Yep.
So we have a few Karens, so we're going to go about this the right way. Did anyone get it correct?
Yes.
Yes, someone did get it correct. Unfortunately, Smiles and Jenny, you've lost a point. Congratulations, Septic. You have also lost a point. So let's go down the list. Is it Noah?
No.
Is it Thomas Jefferson?
No.
Is it Bodie McBoatface?
No.
No. Bodie Steamboat Face. Bob the Builder.
No.
Robert Fulton.
Yes.
It is Robert Fulton. So unfortunately, that's the only person that guessed Robert Fulton. So 2 points to Danny. And we've lost some points with, I don't think that they were ill-thrown Karens. That was a difficult one. So I think that was a pretty reasonable strategy to go after on that one. Sometimes I look at you folks and you throw Karens out and I'm like, really? This early in the week? I feel like there's a pretty good shot at this one. But this, I felt, this is a tough one. All right, so let's move on to question number 5.
Question number 5. The first line of what book begins? A few miles south of Soledad, the Salinas River drops in close to the hillside bank and runs deep and green.
There we go. All right, so 60 seconds on the clock. This is very exciting. Nothing more exciting than lazy rivers. That's what we've come down to. So yeah, get your answers in the chat. The first line of what book begins with a few miles south of Soledad, the Salinas River drops in close to the hillside bank and runs deep and green. All right, let's see what we're doing over here on Zoom. How are our Zoom people? Have any of you been to this river? Anyone? No? Is this a book anyone's read? Yeah. Oh, Danny's read the book. Oh, goodness. Is it? Does the river run deep and green for a mile? Could it be the Green Mile?
It's not the Green Mile.
It has the word green in it.
Okay.
All right, time's up. Let's go to the chat and see what people came up with. Let's see. Septic has a guess. Might be good, might not be good. It says the Chronicles of Carnarnia. Carnarnia. It'd be Carnarnia.
Narnia?
Yeah, I think that's how he's trying to say it. Carnarnia. It's not quite spelled that way.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I think
We're
that's what
making
you're
up
going
words,
for.
people.
We've got other Karens though. Robert and Jenny have both thrown Karens. Let's see. The boat is the Sir Richard Attenborough. And yes, AUV is Bodie McBoatface. Yeah, right. It was they wanted the name of the boat, and then everybody did that, and they were like, no, we're not doing that. And then they had a little rover thing that they put in the water, and they were like, we'll call it Bodie McBoatface. Fine. All right, so Craig goes with the Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh.
I'm going to say yes for that one.
Yeah. You
That's
think
not
it's that one?
correct.
You're going with that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Ian is throwing his
Unabridged version.
he's throwing his support behind Craig's answer. Although Ian had also answered the Bible with periods before each of those,
Oh.
or right after each of those. East of Eden, the Chronicles of Karen Narnia. Mice and Men. Defunct Wikipedia page. Did you pull this question? That's what Robert wants to know.
Oh.
I like that we just go through Wikipedia, just read Wikipedia for trivia questions. We have books for that. Come on. And 2 Karens. So we've got a couple Karens. We got 3 technically. Did anyone get the answer correct?
Yeah.
Oh, minus points for Robert and Jenny. Unfortunately, Septic, congratulations. Your streak is still intact. What is the correct answer?
Of Mice and Men.
It is. Will you accept Mice and Men?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
Yep.
It's a different book.
That's fine.
It's a porno.
It's not a porno.
Yeah. It's a different book entirely.
No.
All right. So, I believe Mice and Men is actually about Disney. I could be wrong though. No. All right. Of Mice and Men, totally different. Mice and Men, Disney documentary.
It was not a Disney documentary in AP English. Let me tell you, that was not a Disney movie in AP English.
Yeah. Did you know that the first Disney character was a rabbit, and then Mickey Mouse didn't know his own strength and killed it? Fact. Yep. He felt very bad about it. No, no. That was of Mouse and Men.
I think that
Mice and
you're
Men.
lying to me.
No, that was of Mice and Men. I got it confused.
Yeah, I think that was a lie.
All right, let's move on to, well, do you want to go points? Do your
Yep,
points?
points.
Let's do it.
We have, in reverse alphabetical order, Septic with -5 points, Robert with 2 points, Melissa with 4 points, Karen with 3 points, Jenny with -2 points, Diana with -1 point, Danny with 7 points, and Christina with 1 point.
There we go.
That's it.
Let us know if anybody thinks that their score is incorrect, and we will move on to question number 6.
Question number 6. Gene Butler was the lesser-known half of the duo that brought what dance sensation to the U.S.?
There you go. 60 seconds on the clock. Get your answers into the chat. Was the dance duo of Mice and Men?
No.
Well, I was trying. All right.
Septic, you're not even trying now.
Septic's just throwing Karens. He's like, I don't care anymore. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Septic got his t-shirt and he was like, I'm out. I don't even care anymore. I don't care. I just Karen. 12 people. We've added a couple of people to the stream. Welcome everybody who's come in a little late. If you want to participate, you absolutely can. Just put your answer there in the chat. We'll go over to the Zoom folks. What's the worst dance craze that has swept the United States? Which one do you think is the worst one?
The Macarena.
The
Yeah?
Macarena.
That is the worst one?
Yes.
Alexa,
In elementary school, every month in music class, we had a different song we got to sing at the beginning of class.
right.
And when it got to the Macarena, we got to sing and dance to the whole song every time. That song is like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, that is maybe they put it, thank God they didn't put it on repeat for you. That's the important thing.
And actually not that child friendly.
Not that child friendly. That is true. Surprisingly enough, there is a whole bunch of innuendo there that is not really geared for kids. But all right, so unanimous. We've gone with the Macarena. I'm surprised nobody else had anything else as an answer for that one. But
Did mine
Macarena.
not come up?
What's that?
Did my answer not show up?
The Humpty Dance.
The Humpty Dance. Oh, that's also a good one. Let's go over to the chat and see what people have in there. So yeah, one with the Humpty Dance. We've got swing dancing. We've got shag. Michael Flatley, which is the Lord of Dance. Not to be confused with the River Dance, I believe. Friday Night Fever, which was not really a duo, I don't believe. Septic has been confused. He wants everybody to throw a Karen, but then he would get a point. So I guess he wants a point. We should give him a point. It seems like he wants
Done.
a point. All right, so 1 point for Septic. Time's up over on Facebook as well. Nobody went with a Karen except for Septic. So let's go from the top down. Was it the Macarena?
No.
It wasn't. Oh, that was a good guess, though. That is not really a dance duo, though. Right? Didn't it say a dance duo?
Look at what Septic just wrote.
You monster. I'm just trying to follow your desires, I want to make sure that you're heard, Septic. If you're going to beg for points, we will give you points. I feel terrible. You're already in such negative points. We have the Humpty Dance.
No.
We have swing dance.
No.
We have shag.
No.
We have Michael Flatley.
Not a form of dance.
No, not a form of dance. Friday Night Fever.
I think you mean Saturday Night Fever. No.
Friday Night Fever. No, he's talking about football. That would be
That's Friday Night Lights.
right. Yeah, same thing.
No.
Friday Night Fever lights.
I think this is a COVID reference.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it might be.
Are you ill, Robert?
All right, so over on Zoom, which answer are you guys getting behind? Which one do you think is the right one out of all these? Macarena, is that what you're feeling? No.
Diana just says no.
No.
I should know this.
You really
I
should.
don't.
It's Flashdance.
It's Flashdance. All right, what is the correct answer?
Riverdance.
Riverdance, which means Danny was so close, but it was the other dance troupe.
And not a person.
Yeah,
Style
and
of
not a
dance.
specific person.
I will warn you, and Keith knows how bad I'm doing it. I'm writing a grocery list right now and thinking about Girl Scout cookies, so I'm distracted.
Well, those seem like really valuable things.
Justifiably.
Yeah, justifiably. Although you're making it sound like you're doing two different things at the same time when we all know that the grocery list is just all Girl Scout cookies. So you're not fooling us.
Grace Chopper this year. This is not great for my diet.
That's true. That is difficult.
They're just testing me now.
You can say no. Let's move on to question number 7. Not
Question
saying you
number
should.
7. What is the only insect that can turn its head? Thank you for fixing the typo in this question.
You're welcome.
You are so lovely.
60 seconds on the clock. It's the only insect that can turn its head.
So you know how normally we take time and we talk about Keith's silly podcast?
Yeah. Don't care
Um,
anymore.
And how great it is and
Nope.
where you can find it.
It's kind of bad.
Instead of that, I think we should take time and talk about how lovely Keith is.
I don't think that's true.
Yep.
Nope.
Because I had to work all the way through the weekend last weekend, and Keith was super supportive and lovely and made sure I ate and made sure I took breaks and made sure I didn't lollygag too much. And he's going to do it again this weekend because I have to work again this weekend.
She doesn't know that I hire people and make them wear Keith masks on the weekend. It's fact.
I wore a Keith mask.
Take the fucking compliment.
Keith also listens to me vent about people that I don't like, and he doesn't yell at me.
That's true. Most of the time, it's just venting about me. But
Oh,
that's...
everybody say nice things about Keith. Craig, your turn.
Nope, we got to go to the chat. I'm sorry. We can't continue this.
Couldn't unmute. Super supportive.
I have a story I want to tell you, Keith.
Well, let's do it in a minute. We have to do it in a
Alright.
second here. I want to make sure we keep the show moving along for the folks that aren't in the meeting here. Yeah, time is almost up over there as well. We've got some answers. We actually have some people going on a theme here. Praying Mantis has the most answers. What's that? Why is your mouth so wide open? All right, do you have a praying mantis in your mouth?
Because I'm a female praying mantis and I'm going to eat you.
Don't do that! Oh my God! We're never having sex again. That is so scary. Don't.
She turned her head.
She's on my camera already. This is. Don't! You're I need. Oh, that's very gentle. Why is that so gentle? That's
That
very.
was really bad from our angle, guys.
It really does.
I'm a gentle lover.
I mean, it wasn't bad from my angle. All right, so praying mantis, Ted Cruz. That's what Ian says. Glad we haven't gotten political in here. I'm glad to hear that. Christina says caterpillar. Skeeters, says Jenny.
What's a skeeter?
That's a mosquito.
Oh.
Mosquito. It's a skeeter. Spider, says Robert. And let's see. And everybody else went with praying mantis. No Karen's on this one except
There
for
was
septic.
one.
What? Just septic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still counts.
I don't
He's a human
know.
being.
Barely. He is more of a scope than a human being. So what is the correct answer? Bless you, Karen.
Praying mantis.
Correct. That is the right answer. Yay! 2 points for Karen. Look at that. She knew it was coming and sneezed. Craig got a point, and Diana and Danny and Melissa all got points as well. Keith's got the most sexiest beard, which is kind of like, with as little as people tend to like beards, is like saying like, you're like the cutest ugly person. That's really
I
where
like your beard.
you do. But like, it took me most of my life to find someone that was like, no, that's cool. Even my mom's like, you should shave.
I threaten to cry at him if he threatens to shave it.
All right, an infrared one at that. An infrared beard. Do I have an infrared beard? I didn't think that was true. Let's go to question number 8.
In Arthurian legend, who is Lancelot's son?
All right, 60 seconds on the clock.
Now let's go to Diana.
Should we? I feel like we should. We have to wait for just a minute to let people read the question first. I
Okay.
feel like that's fair. If I'm like, here's the question, we just put it on the screen. Bye! We're not going to show it to you anymore. That seems rude. Why would
Real
we have it
dramatic.
on there anyway? We just have to make people on the meeting hold up signs with the questions on them. All right, so we've had about 30 seconds with that question. So now we'll move over to the Zoom. So, Smiles, you've got a story for us. What is that?
I do. And my story is about how one of your rants made a difference.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah,
Excellent.
So, it's specifically this story's for you. So, I was filling out a form at work, and on a drop-down list, there were a bunch of choices, and one of the choices was whitelist.
Ah,
Okay.
nice.
So just so happened that earlier that day, one of the sort of number 2 people in my very large company with a very famous CEO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a guy that reports directly to him.
Yeah.
Had held a town hall earlier that day discussing race and its impact and inclusivity at work. And so I screenshot it and I sent him an email. And I asked him to make a company-wide change to remove the words blacklist and whitelist, from basically it's systemic in our system, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that's how systemic it is. So I sent him an email, and so it did get forward on to basically there's like a committee that's handling sort of all the race issue
Okay.
at work, and it got forwarded to them. So I'm very excited.
All right.
Yep, because I thought of your rant as soon as I saw it, and I was like, bang.
All right, cool.
Here's
Well,
hoping my big company is going to get rid of those words.
if we give correct credit where it's due, Caitlin was the one that actually dug that up and brought it to my attention.
I found it on a group called Tech Ladies. I was one of their first members, and someone posted about it on Facebook, and I thought it was really interesting. So I told Keith about it, and he
Yeah.
ran with it.
Yeah, I think
Right.
it's something that sometimes there's just these little things that we can do. I think that's when I get frustrated with people who are not open-minded about it, because we get so caught up in this like, well, you can't tell me what to say thing, and it's like, I mean, it's a pretty much the minimal amount of effort you can put in. Right? Like, hey, I'd prefer you to not use that word. Like, all right, that'll cost me exactly $0. Like, that cost me absolutely nothing. And they're like, but my freedom. And like, you can use the word. Nobody has said you're not allowed to use the word. And I would actually be against laws that like said that that abridge the rights to freedom of speech. But I think that you can say, wow, using that word makes me kind of a dick. I'm not going to use that word anymore. I think that shows you being an adult and being a participant in society. Sometimes you don't just run up to like little kids and you're like, fuck, and like, cause that's not appropriate to do.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, other people than Ian don't go up to little kids and yeah.
Ian needs new weekend plans.
Yeah. Apparently now that the government's open, that was all he had on his itinerary.
Hey, my mother does that to my kids on occasion because they giggle their asses off.
Yeah.
When Nana says fuck.
Right. All right, so let's go to the chat and see what answers we got for that. Thank you for that story, Smiles. I'm glad that there's some difference being had, but the thing to remember is that I had a run-in kind of on Facebook as well, where people were felt like I wasn't being very sensitive or being very aware of a situation. And I think we get so caught up with the idea of defending ourselves and saying, No, I'm not a racist. Like, there was the lady in the park who basically called the police and was like, there's an African-American man trying to murder me because he had caught her dog who was off the leash. And she was like, I'm not a racist. And I was like, yeah, but like, even if your intention wasn't to be racist, you were.
It's what you did anyway.
Right? Like, I understand that you don't want to be labeled as a racist, but I think you need to at least agree that, like, even if you intend for your actions to not be racist, that doesn't necessarily preclude your actions from being racist. And the next best thing to do after that is to say, like, okay, I'm listening. Like, how would I correct that? Because this particular form of racism was me not being aware of it, or not me being ignorant to it, and me not understanding that that was a problem. So explain to me why that's a problem so that I can do a better job on it. And I think we need to kind of take the word racist, and we could almost use a better word, right? Like, I don't know if something that allows us to have that moment of like, the thing you're doing is inappropriate and you may or may not be aware of it. And then if you just are like, fuck that, I'm going to do it anyway, then we're like, oh, okay, cool, racist. We were just making sure. I wasn't sure, but now we are. Maybe there's like an intermediate term that maybe people would be more willing to accept, or we just all grow a little thicker skin and stop being, so fragile about stuff. And when somebody calls you a racist, you're like, okay, for that moment, maybe I am. Let me like learn about it. But yeah, so it's an interesting thing. A lot of people are going to say like, well, black and white list, that's not what they mean. That's not how we're using them.
What I mean.
We're not using them like that.
It means the things on the white list are good and the things on the black list are bad. It's pretty cut and dry.
But it's not a race thing, Caitlin. It's just because it's just computers. Computers don't see race. And you have to be able to take a step back and be like, yeah, well, we could probably change that. Like, are we really married to that? Like, do we need to have a black list and a white list to be able to do our jobs? Or can we have like a banned list and an accepted list? That seems like it still does the same job, right? If it was something where it was like, we need to replace, the color white with something, that would be harder to be like, what color is that? And you're like, it's chartreuse now. I don't know. I'm really confused. Like, we probably need that word. But do we need it in that reference?
Look up that post.
Yep.
Because she actually had a suggestion.
I'm going back to being ranty again,
go.
which is not necessarily
Instead of
awesome,
blacklist, use block list. And
Block
instead
list?
of whitelist, use safe list.
That seemed, yeah. Safe and block, those seems great. Danger, not danger. There's so many things we can use for that.
Spiders or kittens.
America?
What was Karen? What'd you say?
Thanos, Captain America.
Yeah, right. All right, so Craig went with a Karen. Ian says Lance a little, the little Lancelot. You get it? Because it's a tiny Lancelot.
I get it.
Septic goes with a Karen. Sir Mix-a-Lot, says Robert. There you go. Even back then, he could not lie.
Style point.
Oh, Ian would like a style point.
Style point.
No, I think Mix-a-Lot gets a style point.
Oh, okay. You can also just give him whatever what's your
Ian tokens. Yes.
Ian tokens. There you go.
Tokens right there.
Diana Smiles goes with Mordred. Melissa says Galahad. Karen has thrown a Karen. Danny goes with Sir Galahad. Craig says, I'm here. I got to pay attention to stuff in the oven. All right. That seems good. It's acceptable to shout at kids. In fact, it is expected. Yeah, it's weirder if it's not your kids, though. All right. So let's get, we've got a couple Karens. So did anyone get the answer correct?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So Craig and Karen and Septic have all lost a point. One of those people is happy about it. Let's go from the top down, I guess, right? That's a good way. Lance a little?
No.
No. Sir Mix-a-Lot?
No.
Mordred?
No.
No. Galahad?
Yes.
It is Sir Galahad. That is correct. Melissa gets 2 points, 1 point to Danny. Congratulations for pulling that one out. Let's move on to question 8 or 9. Are we at 8 or 9? I feel like it's 9.
9.
It is. All right. So, all right. What is question number 9?
It's the penultimate question.
It is the penultimate question. All right, what is the penultimate question?
Flyfot is a heraldic name for what symbol?
There we go. 60 seconds on the clock. Flyfot
Flyfot.
is a heraldic
Flifot?
flute.
Anyway, I saw this in context,
Flyfot.
and it was really interesting, so I made it into a trivia question.
Eflot. It could be any number of things. We don't know how to say it, but you can read it on the screen. So definitely put your answers in for that. This feels like something that could be more Karen-like than some of the others.
The zipper on your jeans.
That's not really a symbol, the zipper on your jeans. Ian, we're
This is
looking.
my family.
Robert says the euro symbol.
I feel like that's the euro.
Yeah, I think it's just called a euro.
I could be wrong. The euro sign, perhaps. Septic says Karen, which is genuine because who knows? Which is a weird thing to do if you're trying to lose points. You would not guess, right?
Or
Or
you
you
would just
guess-
guess a random thing.
Guess wrong. Craig has guessed banana bread, but by accident. That wasn't an actual answer. All right, Craig has gone with a Karen. I know it's a type of cross, but I'm not sure which one, says Karen. Interesting. All right, so let's go to the chat and see what people were coming up with on this. Lots of people seem to be a little lost. So far, not a solid answer. We've got the zipper on your jeans and the euro sign. And all Karens. Melissa says eagle. It's an eagle. All right, and we've got a kind of a cross. Some kind of a cross. We're waiting for Facebook to catch up, and it has. So that's the last answer in. We've got Karen's on the board. Oh, Danny has chimed in 2 seconds late. Oh, tried to time it perfectly. And unfortunately, Cruz
Dissimulata.
Dissimulata. Jenny has thrown a Karen, unfortunately, late. Time is already up. So we've got Karen's on the board. Did anyone get it correct?
No.
No. It is kind of a cross. Is it kind of a cross?
It is.
It's a kind of cross, but we're not going to take some kind of cross.
I'm not going to take some kind of cross.
No. All right.
Too many, you can't take it.
No. Some kind
Karen
of cross.
would not even accept a point for that.
No.
Is it hot cross buns?
It's
Is
not
that-
hot cross.
No, is that not
Is
it?
it crisscross?
It's not crisscross.
No, but
Maybe
they are-
want to jump.
That's true. And it's not an eagle. So we've got points for septic.
Swastika!
Yep.
There it is. That's a weird
That's
reaction
a
for
weird
that.
reaction.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so I saw
Can
that
we
in
isolate
context.
that?
Yeah, can we just,
Just
record
isolate just Karen going, swastika, yes! And then
that?
and it'll be like, oh, that.
So I saw that in context where someone was trying to hide the fact that they enjoyed a swastika and they were calling it this other name, like to be like on the DL.
Yeah.
So now you know if someone's talking about their flyfot, they're talking about a swastika and they're fucking racist.
There's also another name for it if
They're fly.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. There's also another name for it if it's backwards. It's like an Indian
It's
symbol and it
Yeah.
means luck and it's where they stole it from actually.
Yep.
So it was around way before the swastika and they fucking ruined a really wonderful symbol that meant luck and made it all shitty. So now we're out of luck on that one. But I believe it's an Indian or a Sanskrit
it's Indian. It's called the swastika.
swastika. And it was good. It was a good symbol. It meant good things. And so they were like, well, we want good things, even though we're shitty people. And then they took it. And now you can't use it at all because they...
It's a symbol of Buddhism in India.
Oh,
Is the
Buddhism. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's banned out of heraldry for the Society for Creative Anachronism.
I can imagine. Yeah. All right. So there we go. We got points for Septic, ironically enough. Craig and Karen, who all threw Karen's during that one. We're at the last question of the night. It's 8 o'clock, so the timing's pretty good on this one. All right. So let's go to question number 10.
Cognac must be at least 5 years old before it is labeled what?
60 seconds on the clock. Let's see what people come up with for this one. What is it labeled if it has been around for at least 5 years? How do you know it's old?
Old.
Oh my goodness, what does that make us,
Menke.
Karen?
That's your answer.
All right, so there you go. On a completely unrelated note, my banana bread just came out of the oven and it looks perfect. Oh, that's very lovely. Aged is a good, yeah.
Karen's beverage of choice is not Menke Old Cognac.
Probably
I'm pretty
not.
sure.
No.
Only pretty sure, but
She strikes me as a rum kind of gal. Nailed it. Look at that.
boom.
Look at that.
Everything has to be 18 and over.
Yes. I don't know why I picked rum. I just
Because she was drinking rum on the show one time.
was she? Oh, that was what it is. And she wanted people to send her rum. That's right. Send Karen rum. Whenever she won't get another T-shirt, but you can send her rum if she wins another week. That'd be funny if we kept this up. And what we did is we just this is probably not a world we want to live in, but if we were to like publish the address of whoever won to all the people that participated that week, and then they all send that person something as a prize.
Nice. We just send Ian posters of Keith Richards.
Yeah. So everybody,
No, I'm down.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've already got most of his posters.
most of them. He's still making them. All right, so time's up. Let's go over to the chat and see what people came up with for answers. So old, aged. Ian would like some banana bread. There you go. So you've already got a fan of your banana bread already. Ready for drinking, says Robert. All right. Melissa says brandy. It is brandy at that point.
Armagnac.
Armagnac. Septic says that rum is good. Old is the Confederacy. That is a fact. That is one of the ironic things when people have the Confederate flag and say that it's their heritage. It's 5 years of your heritage. Calm the fuck down.
Nirvana is older than the Confederacy.
Well, lasted longer. Yeah, they lasted longer. So you should probably also be wearing flannel because that's part of your fucking heritage. All right.
Part of mine.
Yeah, see? That's fine. Let's see. Everyone seems to be baking banana bread and sourdough bread. Haven't done either yet, says Melissa. We'll get to it. Let's see. You can't beat a good scotch.
I agree with you. Unfortunately, I agree with you so much I had to stop drinking scotch, but
Yes.
still,
You were very good at it.
it's a good point.
You were a pro.
Very expensive habit.
Not when other people buy it for you.
Yeah, it wasn't the expense. So Robert says I would burn the house down if I bake. Well, not if you follow the instructions. That's the really good thing about baking, Robert, actually, is that like unlike with cooking where you kind of do things and try stuff and like you can make your own recipes and stuff, if you don't follow the instructions on baking, like just everything goes south. Like it's terrible. It doesn't work. Like if it says like half a cup of flour and you put like 3/4 of a cup of flour, it won't work. So all you have to do, but that's what makes baking great, right? Is because literally to be a good baker, you just follow the instructions and then that's it. That's the thing you do. So whenever you say like, I would never be able to bake, it's like you actually have the instructions are on the internet. You just do that thing exactly, done. It's like programming. You can program, right? And there you go. Just do that. You just follow each of the instructions. All right. So did anybody get that correct?
No.
No. What? Oh,
Sorry.
are you saying that maybe Septic got another point?
Terrible night for Septic.
Oh God, Septic. Oh
He
God.
is the loser, but still is a bad night for Septic.
Keith, stop. I have. You've burned down the house. Were you following a burn down the house recipe at the time?
Burning down the house.
Because that would explain it. If it started with turn on the oven, step 2, burn down the house. That's all right, let's see. Let's go and finish this bad boy up, right? Because we're at 10. That was 10, right?
Yep.
Nobody got a point following
Do you
the...
want to know what the answer is?
No, nobody deserves that answer. It's the end of the show. All right, fine. Don't let me punish the people for their ignorance.
It's Napoleon.
Napoleon,
Has
that's
to be
right.
5 years old to be labeled Napoleon.
Yes. Napoleon also had to be at least 5 years old before he was labeled Napoleon. Before that, he was just known as Bonaparte. Baby Bonaparte. All right, so following directions, always had the smoke alarms going off. There might be a problem with your stove. That might be the issue. If you take a look at the oven, there might be like a dead critter in there that is catching fire. All right, that is the end of the show. So we have to go to our shares and see how many people shared and how many times to make sure that we get our points. So Jenny gets a point. Craig gets a point. Shaggy gets a point. Emily gets a point. And Robert gets a point. Those are all of our points. Did anyone host over there on Twitch?
How many points did you get, babe?
I got 2 points.
Good job.
Yeah. Let's see. Karen was going to go with VSOP, very special old pale. That is.
We will not give you a point if you tell us that you hosted.
All right. So there we go. The very special old pale is for something else. Cavassier or something?
Yes, I will subtract a point because you shared.
Oh, he said he hosted, so give him a point.
No, it's subtracting a point.
I didn't say that.
I did.
I know, but it's my show. I don't make the rules. I lied. There's no way that I make the rules.
See if I get you
if we're being
questions
honest.
again.
I have plenty of questions that I can do on myself. Question number 1. How many is hair?
Nailed it.
It's going to be hard. Saturdays and Sundays are difficult. Right? Spell CAT. No? No one? All right. See?
Triangle, blue, octopus.
Right. If given 13, how is 2?
Pretty spiffy. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, we can do. I can
Subject
do
is
this.
bat.
I can do this without you. I don't need you here.
All right.
That
then
was
we'll
just
come.
off the top of my head. I got questions. I have so many questions. It's super easy.
Let's
Mhm.
hope our answers match.
Someone sent me a cat picture.
Right? The hardness of teeth is equal. Yes or no?
True
That's
or
on
false
the
questions are
Fringness scale.
cheating.
What? Ian, what do you say?
On the
Oh,
Fringness
no, I
scale.
didn't see it.
Yeah, it does. All right, so that is we need the points, right? Let's tell people what points they got.
Shaggy got 1 point.
Yep.
Septa got -5 points.
Way
Put
to
your
go.
acceptance speech in. Robert got 3 points. Melissa got 7 points. Karen got 5 points. Jenny got -1 point. Emily has 1 point. Diana's dead even at 0. Danny has 9 points. Put your acceptance speech in the chat. Craig has 2 points and Christina has 1 point.
All right, I got to run. See ya.
All right,
Bye,
see you,
Karen.
Karen. Who won?
Danny.
Danny
That's why I said
won.
put your acceptance speech in the chat.
Tried to not do it this time. Put answers in late and still won. All right, while we're waiting for that, don't forget I also have a podcast called Another Wasted Hour. Go check that out at Another Wasted.
You got 3 questions right, Septic. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. You're not very good at this. So go to any place that has podcasts. Just search for Another Wasted Hour. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere. Just put Another Wasted Hour. Hit the subscribe button. Listen to some comedy. There's some trivia there. There's local music that you've probably never heard before. It's all free. There's like 140 episodes. It's not that terrible. You could definitely swallow it and just probably hold your nose. And don't forget to also give us a review and some stars. We'd appreciate that. This show has been happening for now 3 months now, every night at 7 o'clock. If you'd like to know when we go live, it's usually 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's a little early or sometimes it's a little late. You'll probably want to subscribe to this show and follow this show. Look for that button around there. Hit the notification so it lets you know. If we are ever going to be particularly late, we post something up on our Facebook and Twitter. So go follow us there. Another Wasted Hour on Facebook, A Wasted Hour on Twitter. You can also hit us up on, it is on Instagram as well. We have a private group for all of you folks if you'd like to join the madness. Another Wasted group on Facebook. You can find that from our page. So that is that stuff. I've used to promote that a lot more, and now I just don't have it in me. So hopefully you're all actually going and checking it out. It would be awesome. Let's take a look. Everybody says congrats to Danny. Congrats, Danny. I got to go clean the battlefield kitchen. Have a great night, all. What would you like to read one of these speeches?
I will read Danny's speech.
All right, we'll do that.
Glad to spend a mindless hour with you all after an 8-hour day. Great way to waste an hour. Keith is also awesome and can't say no to this compliment because it's in my acceptance speech. Purple tomorrow.
Purple it will be. Septic also has an acceptance speech for last place. And would you like me to read that?
Please.
A dismal night for a dismal goal. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That is the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us and being a part of it. Join us tomorrow, Saturday. We're going to do shootouts again. We missed that for, I think, a week or so. So we'll do a shootout Saturday where we will make people race for points. It's a lot of fun. And that'll be 7 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. If you're going out, use your masks, don't touch your face, do the things that you have been told to do, wash your hands, those types of things. There's rumors of a second wave. I don't know if that's actually happening or not, but it is historically accurate that there have been second waves to pandemics. So everybody do be careful. We want you to be happy and healthy, and we want to see you again here tomorrow at 7 o'clock. People are waving. I'm going to go back to Zoom so people can wave. And so there you go.
Second wave.
Second wave. I see. So yeah, do be careful of that. And for all the folks that did have to be essential personnel and go to jobs because you either chose to or because you had no other options, thank you. I know that that's not something that necessarily you chose to do, but you did a huge service for the rest of us, people in the healthcare, cashiers, delivery folks. I know you're probably just trying to make a wage, but we recognize that you had to sacrifice your own safety so that we could have ours, and we appreciate you. So that is it. That is the end of the show. Have anything you'd like to say? What is your moment of Zen? Perfect. All right, everyone have a great night. We will see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Take care.
Bye.